Hi, so today we're going to talk about meetings. 5 steps to have a productive meeting. Hi, so like I said, today we are going to talk about meetings, and we spend a lot of time inside the meeting. And I would like to say, not as the first step, but as an introductory step, that usually what we have to be sure about is it really necessary? Is it the meeting really absolutely critical to do it? Because if it's not, you can decide by email or by Skype or by phone, which it's a kind of meeting, right? It's a video meeting or a phone meeting. It's a meeting, but usually people don't realize that it's a meeting. They prefer to have in physical presence, both people, and sit on the table and talk about. That's what sometimes people think that's the real meeting, okay? But let's talk about that real meeting. Okay, so first step, you have to have a schedule. You have to have a schedule of the meeting. You have to have the points that you are going to, the topics that you are going to talk about it. That's very important. And those topics you should put on an email or in Outlook invitation if you work with Microsoft Outlook, for example, and send the invitation. When you send the invitation, the person will receive it on his email, and if he has also the Outlook and other systems, that will be integrated automatically into his calendar, and also he will say if I accept or not accept or propose another time. And that way you will minimize that thing that sometimes happens, which is you go to a meeting and sometimes say, oh, I forgot complete that we had a meeting, and you don't want to have that. Okay, so first step, the topics, and send the invitation. Second step, you should start the meeting on time, because usually, well, in my country like Portugal, Brazil, and Italy, and Spain, well, the Latin countries and some of the Portuguese colonies, they start sometimes the meetings late, usually not on time, and that's not a very good practice. You should always start on time. And also because on the eyes of the other person, if you start on time, it shows immediately you have credibility, you have authority, you have it shows that you are really a great professional, even if you are not, but I hope you are. Okay, so that's another step. The third step is you have to have someone that will lead the meeting. If it is an internal meeting, it's quite easy. But if you have with a client or with a supplier, someone has to lead the meeting and has to go with the topics. And if something happens and you just start to talk about something that is not on the list, you should tell, okay, let's concentrate again to the topics that we decide to discuss, and then in the end, if we have time, we can speak about that. Okay, so that's very important. The fourth step is the goal of the meeting is to decide something. So you have to decide what you're going to do, who is going to do it, and what is the deadline. This is very important. If you don't decide these 3 things, the meeting was not necessary, or the meeting was not done in the proper way. So you should decide always who is going to do it, when is going to do it, and what is going to do it. Okay, that's the fourth step, and very important. The fifth step and the last point of this list, and which is critical, is to make a summary. If you don't make a summary, if you don't tell the people, okay, so let's recap, okay, you have to do this in this time, and you have to, if you don't recap, if you don't do a quick summary, sometimes what happens is people just forget, or they are not sync, or something happened. Usually in my meetings, when I don't give the summary, something happens. Someone will say, oh, I didn't realize that it was me that was going to do, or I didn't realize that this was important, or people don't, sometimes they have a blank, okay? So it's important that you have a summary, okay? So I hope you will have a very, very high productive meetings, and I would like to ask you 3 things. The first thing is comment. Please give me some feedback, some thumbs up or thumbs down, but just give me some feedback. And the second thing is subscribe these videos. Just click here and you can subscribe this channel and receive this kind of tips. Or if you are, you can go to the blog and just click on the link and put your email, and then you will have access in your email.